Sports News, episode 2. Yeah, man, it was a crazy damn week of sports and all sports, especially the ones I'm gonna be talking about today. So I want to say thank you all for the support on the first two videos. It ain't much, but it's a start, and appreciate it, man. So let's get right into the segment for today. Got a lot to talk about. God damn it, a lot of motherfucking shit to talk about. But for real, yeah, it was a crazy week of sports, and let's get right into it. All right, boxing. I'm gonna start from a different order. For the people who watched it first, you'll notice I'm gonna start backwards this time, and stay tuned. So here we have boxing, of course, the biggest, most high-profile fight of the weekend: Broner versus Pacquiao. You could see Pacquiao dominates and retaining title against Broner. I was surprised, man. Pacquiao still got it. I mean, gotta give him his props. I thought he would, slow down against someone of Broner's caliber, but of course, Broner disappoints once again. Not throwing any shade at the man, he just crumbles under pressure in the biggest moments. Pac-Man is a legend. Like I said before, my, prediction. I said either Broner knocks him out or Pacquiao beats Broner in 12, and that's what happened. And it was a dominant performance. I gotta give him props for what he did. From what I saw, it was a pretty one-sided fight. I'll maybe give Broner at least 2 rounds, if that. He for sure won the fourth round. That was probably his best round by far. He won. That's probably the only round he won convincingly. He was very hesitant and fought in a very defensive fight. Pacquiao was very careful towards the end. His jab was very effective. His footwork was like the footwork of old almost. He showed flashes. Yeah, man, I gotta give Pacquiao his props. He picked his shots well. His combinations were solid. He was solid, and he was sharp as a knife. And I give him an A performance. It was very good. It's just Broner. Now let me say something about Broner. Like I said before in the first episode of this, if you watched, Broner always seems to fail in the biggest moments. It's just reality. He did it against Maidana. He did it against Sean Porter. He did it against Mikey Garcia and now Pacquiao. Just every high profile fight seems to wither and crumble under the pressure, and once again he did. It was unfortunate. There's one other thing I want to address when I was reading this. Let's see here. It speaks about Mayweather. If you see this part right here. Let me read it to you guys. It says Mayweather watched it all intently from his ringside seat and was coy about possibly coming out of retirement for a reprise of the 2015 lackluster fight Mayweather won by decision over Pacquiao. You keep asking me about it. Blah, blah. Mayweather said during the fight he needs to get past Adrian Broner first, and right now I'm living happy. Well, he did get past Broner. Showtime announcer Jim Gray tried to get Mayweather to climb in the ring after the fight and discuss a possible bout with Pacquiao, but Mayweather demurred. Well, he could do it, but honestly, I think Floyd would win again, even though he hasn't been as active as Pacquiao. I just think he's not a better fighter than Mayweather, And yeah, I would give it to Mayweather. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's been gone out of the ring too long. I know most people want to see him get his first L, But hey, man, is it risky to fight Pacquiao again for Mayweather? I think it is. I think from what I saw, and I didn't watch the fight, by the way. This fight, I watched highlights. Pacquiao looks very sharp. And what I've seen from Mayweather, I mean, I haven't seen him against a true established pro since he's fought his last fight, Andre Berto, where he looked phenomenal. But he hasn't fought since then. It was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now? It's up to him. I mean, it's a money fight. I guarantee you'll get pay-per-view buys, and it'll definitely make some damn money. Anything with Mayweather makes money. We all know that. But yeah, that's just some very interesting. And we'll see how that unfolds in the foreseeable future. But hey man, Pacquiao at 40 is looking sharp. I'd like to see him fight someone like Mikey Garcia. I think that'd be a different story. I don't think he'd beat them. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. I was wrong about this. I thought he would lose. He didn't. Props to him. Yeah, man, it is what it is. So Pacquiao's an all-time great. I think he's the only eight-time division champion in 8 different weight classes. Which is phenomenal. He went from I think like 105 something like that all the way up to 147, I believe, and he's held belts in all those divisions. That's extraordinary. He's a legend of the sport. Much props to him. And yeah, that concludes this boxing segment of this episode. If you want me to go more in depth and not just, that most high profile fight, let me know. Yeah, so that's boxing. Let's go on to the next topic. The NBA. Whoops, I almost skipped there. Yeah, let's look at the standings right now from last week. The Warriors, they're dominant. And DeMarcus Cousins happened to join the lineup, and they look unstoppable, basically. The Nuggets won 2 straight since they've lost to the Warriors. Thunder have won 1. Trailblazers have won 1. The Jazz have picked up some heat with a 6-win streak. The Lakers lost 1. Damn. But yeah, man, the Warriors are looking by far the best team, and like they're only gonna get better. Honestly, and I'm not even exaggerating. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the rest of the games this season. I'm just being honest. I think they're that good. I don't think that'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think they'll lose a few more. I would say they'll lose no more than 15 more games. I think they win the rest out easily. They're phenomenal. It's just the best team of all time, by far. Not even close. Let's see here. The East. You see the Bucks, I guess, took over number 1. That must mean Giannis is doing well. Raptors, Kawhi Leonard. I mean, every time I see his stat sheet from the games, he's dominating. They won 2 straight. Pacers are just there. I really don't say anything about them. 76ers, Jimmy Butler. He made a good move going to the 76ers. You guys are loaded with talent. I mean, those guys are. See Simmons, Embiid, Butler. That's a pretty damn good lineup. Maybe the best. Them and the Celtics have the best talent-wise. We got the Celtics here. Won 3 straight. And yeah, I mean, the East basically looks the same. The West basically looks the same. Things are starting to line up for all these teams. We can kind of predict who's going to be where. I'd have to get my predictions for each. I'd say Warriors, of course, number 1. I'd say either Thunder or Nuggets 2. Rockets, I think they're going to be 4. I think Harden is just taking over the league, which I will be talking to him soon in a bit. I'll be talking about him. The Lakers, they either get LeBron back now and stay in the playoffs, or they don't. I say a few more weeks, they won't be in the playoff picture anymore. I think he has to be back soon, very soon. They need him. On to the next piece of news. That's about the NBA. Oh shit! Sorry about that, guys. Fucking bitch ass ads. I'm just kidding. But damn, these ads are everywhere. Yeah, just close a damn player. Yeah, that too. Sorry, guys. It's a bunch of ads right now. All right, guys. Like I was saying, sorry about the disturbance. Lonzo Ball injured. Now they got another key player injured, even though he's nowhere near LeBron. He's gonna be out 4 to 6 weeks. That's not good for the Lakers right now. Last thing they could use is another injured player. He hurt his ankle in the last game against the Rockets, where Harden was very dominant. It's unfortunate. The Lakers are just having bad luck this year. LeBron's having bad luck. Lakers organization is just having bad luck. And what are you gonna do? I think They need LeBron back definitely. Even worse now that Lonzo's out. Kuzma has been the only consistent person there. He's still there. I pray he doesn't get hurt. I'm a Lakers fan. I want them to go as far as possible, even win the finals. But let's be honest, we all know who's gonna win that. But yeah, it's unfortunate he's injured. I think we're in the middle of the season, right? So I think just let him heal. You take it easy, especially if LeBron's coming back soon. Just take it easy. We need everyone healthy for the playoffs. Like, first of all, we need to get in the damn playoffs. For that, we need LeBron back, or it's not going to happen. I don't think so. Second of all, we need everyone healthy. Everyone, including Lonzo. If they want to even stand a chance against the damn Warriors, they need everyone healthy in that peak condition, at peak performance. Do I think they're going to beat the Warriors? Hell to the no. But that's their best shot, Unfortunately, this next piece of a segment, it's for the Warriors. Here we go. DeMarcus Cousins. Okay. He dropped 14 in the Warriors debut. And he only played 15 minutes. Damn, man, this team is just off the chains good. They're so talented. They're just too talented for their own good. And he seems to be fine with it. I didn't really see him arguing or, it's just he knows where he is. He knows what can happen being on this team. Just like KD, who's a fucking bitch, and this guy's a bitch too. Sorry, but the dominant performance against the Clippers, who isn't a bad team, first of all. He played only 15 minutes. If he plays a full 35 plus, I'd say he's dropping 25 at least. His average would be like 25 points per game, probably like 10 plus rebounds per game. Plus all the other dudes. He'd be definitely like a rebound dude. He'd be a glass cleaner, It's ridiculous. It truly is. And it's tough. That's tough. Just kidding. But what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? It is what it is. Let's see. Warriors. Let's read what it says here real quick. Cousins left he fouled out. Oh, I didn't know about that. Maybe that's why he played so little. Cousins left to a standing ovation. We've lost 5 straight. Of course. He even fouled out. I guess he would have played longer, huh? Clearly they didn't need him. Fouled out and they were fine. So this team is so good. If I'd say even 2 of them get fouled out, the other 3 All-Stars will do just fine against basically any team in the league besides like the Rockets or something. Hey man, it's ridiculous. See, that's them being all cute and shit. God damn it. I'm just kidding. But it's tough. Shit. Well, that's a piece of news. On to the next. James Harden scores 48 points as Rockets come back to beat Lakers in overtime. Harden is on one of the best stretches, I believe. He's had, I think, 10 plus games with 30 or more points. I think that's the most dominant performance in that span since Kobe, when he was scoring like 50, 60. Excuse me. So yeah, man, he's killing the game, at least offensively. Shit, man. They seem like they're picking up steam, from, I know, the beginning of the season, they weren't, as dominant. But yeah, man, the Rockets have been picking up steam, and I think they're going to continue. I think they're going to finish with a solid record. I'd say at least 45 wins, maybe 50, maybe more. I think, they're very dominant. I think their best days are yet to come. Will they be what they were last year? I don't think so, but I think they'll be like a top 5 team in the West. By the time it's all said and done, I predict they'll be a top 5 team in the West. I like where they are right now. I like, obviously, I think we all like how Harden's playing, unless you're a fucking Harden hater. And I'm not. I like Harden. He's a solid ass player. But all time great offensive player. I want to speak about debate I've been hearing. Specifically on all the major sports channels about if Harden is the greatest offensive player ever. No, he's not. I believe right now it's Michael Jordan. Offensive player, Michael Jordan. I think he has the most averages the most games per game in a career all time. 30 games. I believe 30 points per game. That's ridiculous. I think he's the most dominant offensive player that's ever lived. Him or maybe Kareem. Honestly, LeBron James is up there, but I believe he's not number one. When it comes to that, all time, all around, yes. Offensive, all time player, like best offensive player all time, no. I think that's either Kareem or Jordan. And probably Jordan because he averages more points per game in his career. And he played less than Kareem. Kareem played for a long ass time. But yeah, I don't think Harden is the best offensive player of all time. I believe he's top 5 right now. I think he would have to go for years on end being as dominant to be considered number 1. He's not even above LeBron, I'd say. Just because he had a little game, span, 10 plus games. LeBron was dominant for fucking years and years, like a decade or more. So was Jordan. You gotta be at that level for a long, long time to be considered the all-time great offense in any category: defensive, offensive, all around, rebounder, assist, passer. You gotta do it for years on end at a high level, very high level. That's just my take on that. Yeah, that's the NBA segment. If you want me to get more in depth on that, like whatever sport you want me to get more in depth on, let me know. In the comment section, anywhere, any social media that I've provided. I want to make this as entertaining as possible, as and insightful as possible. Leave you guys thinking. I'm a fucking commentator, man. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, I want to make this a 1, if so to speak. Is that what the young people say these days? I'm just kidding. But yep, that's NBA. Let's go on to the next one, which there is a lot to say. The NFL. Okay. First off, both the teams that I wanted to win lost. Which fucking sucks. And what sucks the most is the goddamn Patriots on the damn Super Bowl again. But we'll go into that in a bit. Let's go into this first game. The Rams versus New Orleans. I saw this game. The Saints had it. I think they were rolling at the beginning, first quarter especially. I thought it would be a blowout. It's 14-0 at one point. The Rams just rallied back, and they put the thing is, the Saints had their foot on the gas, and they just slowed down, and the Rams sped up until they passed them up and beat them, basically. 57-yard field goal at the end. And okay, this controversial call, I need to talk about it before I even speak about stats and shit. The Saints should have won this game. The Saints should have won this game. That was one of the stupidest, baddest calls I've ever seen in my life. That ref should be fired. Or whoever the fuck the judge was. I don't care if it was shit. The whole crew, maybe. It was bullshit, man. The corner clearly hit him, and you could even argue it was helmet to helmet. It was bullshit, man. They had the game in the bag. I think with like a minute 12, something like that to go. And they don't call it. When it's clearly PI. I think it's BS. He basically screwed the Saints over. And the Saints have just had bad luck in the past 2 years. First, with a miracle catch from Stephon Diggs last year. For all you that watched that miracle win, I believe they would have won the game if that shit didn't happen. That damn safety blew it, and the ref blew it. So there you got it. There you have it. Let's go into the numbers and stuff. Damn. What are you gonna do, right? At the end of the day, all we can do is watch and criticize. But in the day, the refs have this final say so. I believe that ref should never have a say so in any game again. Seriously. But go ahead and look at these stats. Drew was it wasn't a virtuoso performance, but it was a solid performance by Drew Brees. I think he did enough to win the game, but they clearly didn't because they got cheated. He had a good enough performance to win. The run game was kind of shut down, but they rallied at the end when the Rams were catching up. You see here, Michael Thomas was pretty much not a factor in this game. I gotta say, the Rams secondary, like I said, their keys to victory would be the secondary. Last week I said the key for the Rams to win would be the secondary, and they did step up, especially against Michael Thomas. As you could see, his stat line, not very productive. He just wasn't there in the picture, the whole game. But Alvin Kamara, like I said, would be a factor, and they did not really do a good job at shutting him down, at least in the passing game. He went off. And yeah, it's just unfortunate that that call had to be made. It should have been the Saints heading into the Super Bowl. It should have been Brady versus Breeze this year. Really should have. It's a shame, What are you gonna do? We're all gonna watch still, right? We're all still gonna pray that Brady doesn't win. I know I am. Shit. I'm just kidding. But it is what it is. You don't always get what you get, do you? You don't always get what you want. I mean, run game was shut down. Mark and Alvin were both shut down. And yeah, there you have it for the Saints. Go to the Rams box score. Jared Goff, he did enough. He was calm even when he was getting, sacked and shit. Breeze did too, and he was calm. Both these guys were calm. I give him props to both men, both QBs. They were both calm under pressure. Ndamukong Suh went off versus Breeze, and then Cameron Jordan got Goff, I think, maybe once or twice. Brandon Cooks went off. He was very productive and very clutch. One guy I want to speak about is Josh Reynolds. He was very clutch. He made a bunch of big catches, especially in the second half. Some big catches. He did what he had to do. Jared Goff was accurate. He threw one pick, but I think that was Gurley's fault, who I'm gonna speak about in a second. The pass game was solid, and he was solid. Rush game, on the other hand, Gurley, I think there's something wrong. They had him on the sideline. I think something was wrong with him physically. I don't think it's because they just decided to bench him. I think something was wrong with him physically. You could see him on the little treadmill. I think it was at halftime or something, but he was on a treadmill, like those little machines. I think something was wrong with him. He wasn't really in there. C.J. Anderson was more productive, clearly. Todd had one touchdown, but yeah. But yeah, I give the Rams a B- performance. I give the Saints a B because they should have won the damn game. But they did not. Simple. I'm just kidding. But what do I think about it? It's unfortunate. Disappointing. But what are you going to do? So yeah, that's that game. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of mad people for a long time. I know, I'm fucking pissed. It's fucking bullshit. These refs. Something has to be done for next season. Something's got to change. I don't know what is going to be. I think you should review penalties. I think it should be reviewable. If it's not clear, it's just bullshit, man. I think it should be reversed if it's a horrible call. Because teams are getting screwed over, and we've seen this several times this season. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's what it is. Something's gotta change. All right. New England. The Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes. Everybody. What can I say? Tom Brady. The GOAT. I was praying. They would have him on third down. He would complete it. They'd have him on third down. Adam will catch it. They'd have him third down. Gronk would catch it. Sonny Michel would go for 15. This is damn. It was at their fingertips. It was the palm in their hand. It was there. The win, everything. And Brady said, "Nope, it's not gonna happen. Not that easily. I'm the GOAT." And he went down there several times, several drives. Clutch as can be. It's just hella clutch, man. It was greatness at its finest, even at 41. And I don't like Brady, like I said in the first episode. For people that are new to this, I don't like Brady. As you can see, I'm wearing a Steelers hat. So clearly I don't like him. Clearly. But I gotta respect greatness and respect when I see it. And he has it. He has what it takes, and that's why it's in the fucking Super Bowl again. Please, Rams, I'm praying. God damn it. But yeah. Look at the box score. God damn it. Patrick Mahomes. He missed a couple key throws. He wasn't at his best. He missed a touchdown to Williams, the running back, Damian Williams. He missed a fucking throw. The game would have been tied basically. Actually, they would have won the game. And there would be no overtime, and this would be a different story. But unfortunately, it didn't work that way. And here we are. Brady back there again. It was an unfortunate day for everyone on the planet besides Boston, basically. And the few Patriot fans that are around the country, which aren't very many. I guarantee that. It's just, it's a damn shame, man. Mahomes was good and was not his best. I give him a B- performance. He did have 3 touchdowns. His arm saved him many times. And I gotta give props to the defense. The Patriots defense was A1. Especially the D-line. Cal Vanoy, Trey Flowers, they went off. They were in Patrick's face the whole fucking game. The Kansas City line, O-line was not very good. As you could see, the run game was basically shut down. It's unfortunate. Sammy Watkins went off. Give him props. Damian Williams scored 2 touchdowns receiving. And Tyreek Hill only had 1 big catch. Basically, and this is what Belichick does. This is why Hill was shut down. He basically, any team he plays, he takes away their best weapon. He basically saying to the other team, "You're not going to beat us with this guy." So basically, there he was saying, Tyreek Hill is not going to burn us. You're not going to beat us with having him burn our asses all game. And that he stopped him, only 1 catch. Travis Kelce, basically not a factor. So Watkins had to go to the other guys, and they were there. It was just him missing a couple throws and the run game not being strong enough. It just wasn't enough. Brady always finds a way, basically. So does that defense. Like I said, some reason the Patriots defense always, it's like they boost. It's like all their attributes go up in the playoffs, even if they suck in the regular season. It sucks, man. You hear my fucking voice? It sucks. But what are you gonna do? That's tough. Tom Brady. He did throw 2 picks, but they weren't really his fault, I'd say. Well, actually, the first one was it was a play action at the end zone. The other one, I think it was Edelman's fault, and it didn't matter, basically, because he's so clutch. It was a B performance from Brady, even with the picks, I'd say. Sonny Michel was very clutch. He was very productive and very solid running. It was like every run he would pick up 5-6 yards. I know his average was 3.9, but every time I'd see him, he was gaining yards. Sonny Michel is a very good running back, and I think he's going to get better as the years go on. I think he's promising for New England. I think the best running back they've had in a while when it comes to pure running. A pure runner. He's like the best since that one dude back in like 07, whatever the fuck his name was. I forgot his name and I apologize, but this guy's promising. Very good pickup. They always seem to get the right players. always seem to do it right. You know, receiving. Rob Gronkowski. This guy, man. I was saying he was slowing down. He was spectacular. He was there. He was there and he blocked phenomenally. And he caught it in the most important moments. That's what he did. Big reason why they won a damn game. Edelman. Not his best performance, but he was very productive still. Everyone was just. It's like when you're around Brady, it seems like everyone's just clutch themselves, you know? Damn, man. Damn. What can I say? That goes off to Brady. It is what it is. We got Rams versus Patriots Super Bowl. I did not expect this. I expected like the Rams, not like the Saints versus Rams, maybe. Saints versus Chiefs. I just didn't want the Patriots in there, man. Did not want them in there. Fortunately, it's gonna happen. Fortunately, if I had to predict this game, this Super Bowl game, I have Patriots winning. It's a system. I think the Rams are just not gonna be able to keep up. I think the Patriots defense is gonna show up. When don't they? When don't they show up? Against the Eagles? I suppose. But 9 out of 10 times, they show up. Brady shows up. He always shows up, man. You just don't see him choking. Shit, man. My prediction, it's going to be Patriots-Rams 30-21. I think Patriots, something like that. 30-21, 30-24. Patriots. I hope it's at least competitive. I think the Rams can win if, one, their secondary is on point. They found a way to neutralize Gronk at least and handle Edelman somehow. 3, the D-line has to be A1 to stop Sony Michel because Sony's when he gets going, he's very productive. It says they have so many pieces, and it's not like the players are all Pro Bowlers. The Patriots have a system that works, and they have several ways to beat you. They have the receiving backs, Burkhead, James White. They have a run game now with Sony Michel. They have the pass game with Gronk and putting him on the outside. No one can stop him. Eric Berry couldn't. He got shat on twice in the biggest moments. Edelman, and they always throw it to him. He goes down the seam. You know, he does a crossing route. He's tough as nails. He took some fucking shots, and he got up. He is tough. That team is tough. You know, and that's greatness. You know, maybe that's why we don't like the Patriots, because they're so great. It's just, they're the villains of the story. You know what I'm saying? They've always been the villains of the story. Brady's the villain of the story. He's no longer that 20. How old is he? However old he was when he first won. He's not that anymore. He's the GOAT. The guy that everyone wants to be. Every QB wants to be. Mahomes gave a good effort. I think he will be in that position again in his career easily. I think he'll be there several times. It's just still Brady's the king of the throne still. What are you going to do? I just hope the Rams can find a way. They're going to have to play their best game. I think any team that plays the Patriots in Super Bowl in the playoffs period have to play their best game. The only guy that Brady ever struggled against was Manning in home and away games. Denver had his number. Von Miller. The D-line is key. If you watch those games back a few years back when Brady was losing to Denver, it was because of the D-line. Von Miller, the secondary. But especially the D-line with Von Miller. They had Derek Wolfe, Malik Jackson. Studs on the D-line. In his face. That's the only way to beat him. You got to be in his face the whole game. Throw him off his game, which is not easy. You got to be in his face the whole goddamn game. And have a great offense, which the Broncos did. It's the only way. If not, unfortunately, Brady's going to have 6 rings. So Aaron Donald is a key piece, maybe the most important. Him and Ndamukong Suh are probably the most important pieces in the entire game to beat Brady. They have to have the game of their fucking lives. It's the only way. Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib have to be on their game. Have to at least give Aaron Donald and Dominic Sue enough time to get to Brady. Or it's going to be Brady again. 6 rings. Go. He's already the GOAT, but goddamn, is just padding his resume at this point. He's very confident. And can't blame him. So, yeah, that's my take on that. All Brady has to do is use the same system he's been using for years to win. You know, dink and dunk, you know, variety of plays, variety, always keeping the defense on their heels, always being unpredictable. Goes to run, 2 pass plays, 2 run plays, switches that up, does a play action, throws to Edelman in the middle, flea flickers. Their system is so advanced over the years. Brady's a fucking computer now. His mind is a computer. Belichick's a genius. There you have it. That's my Super Bowl. That's my take on the Super Bowl. The recap of the 2 games. I guess it wasn't a very good week at least for me personally. But there you have it. Now the last segment, UFC. It's a crazy goddamn weekend, especially if you watched this event right here. Let's take it from the bottom. How about we start at the bottom? Let's see so I can see the rest here. I want to talk about this fight right here. Donald Cerrone versus Alexander Hernandez. Alexander's a very dangerous opponent. Donald Cerrone, shit, he might look the best I've ever seen him. He's what? Let me go to him real quick. I want to see his the stats. Okay. I didn't see the whole fight. I believe was that the prelims? Yeah. It was basically the main event in the prelims. Right? And Alex Hernandez was a game opponent. It's not like John would beat up a chump. He looked good, man. He looked real good. And I believe Donald Cerrone, if I'm not mistaken, he called out McGregor, I believe. I'm not sure on that. But you could see he dominated the strikes. I believe he TKO'd him, and he did in the second round. Cerrone is very game, very good. It's like it's getting better. He's like fine wine, man. His skills are getting better, it seems like. The last fight he had, it was against Mike Perry. I believe he submitted him. And now he gets a TKO. He's beaten 2 very, very good, young, hungry fighters. And I want to talk about this real quick. I might as well go from this to that and then go back to these fights. Alright, give me a second here. This shit to load up. Conor McGregor accepts Donald Cerrone's call out. He basically says, I'll fight you. And this is basically what he said on Twitter. For a fight like that, Donald, I'll fight you. Congrats. Here's my take on that. Donald will not be an easy fight for McGregor. Here's why. He's very balanced. Definitely better than McGregor on the floor. Because Cerrone is a damn animal on the ground. He can wrestle. He has a mad submission game. As you could see from the Mike Perry performance. Yeah, man, I think McGregor's gonna have a tough time with this guy if he decides to fight him. Do I think there's money involved? I mean, anything with McGregor, there's money. And Cerrone, his name's been growing. He's a fan favorite. You know. So guys, we're back. Computer's a little glitchy. I'll find you a new one eventually. Don't worry, I'm always trying to make these better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Don? But like I was saying, Donald Cerrone called out Conor McGregor after defeating Alexander Hernandez, who was a very game opponent. I believe it would be a tough matchup for Conor. Very tough. He's no Khabib, though. I'm not saying to fucking maul him like Khabib did. I don't think that'll happen. McGregor, unless he's not in the gym again, fucking around like he did after he fought Mayweather. But if he's in the gym, it should be a good, decent fight. I think, honestly, I think Donald wins. Not just because I don't like McGregor personally, but because Donald's very game, very balanced, and he just has hella experience, man. I used to think Donald was just middle of the pack. Now he's almost damn near for a title. He's in contention for a title shot. And if he beats McGregor, I think they should give it to him. You know, very soon. He is 35 years old, and his time's running out. Age catches up to all of us. McGregor said he'll fight him. I think that's McGregor's next fight. I honestly do. Whatever Conor wants, Conor gets. I mean, him and Dana White. Dana White usually gives him what he wants. So I'd say that's gonna happen next. A prediction they'll fight in a few months. Actually, that's what I think. Maybe summer, maybe even sooner. They'll be fighting very soon, and Conor better be ready because Donald ain't no joke. And this is my part. This is my take on the shit talking that will take place because anything with Conor, there is shit talking. Donald can talk shit, but I think it'll be interesting. He can definitely talk shit better than Khabib. And no knock on Khabib. Obviously, he can't speak English perfectly. Donald can, clearly. He's American. And there's nothing wrong with not being able to speak English properly. Obviously, Khabib can. He's not from here, But, like I was saying, I think Donald will have some things to say. Donald's a smart guy. But if you notice, if you watch the press conference for this event that just took place, Alexander Hernandez actually talked shit to Cowboy. And Cowboy basically said, hey, I don't do any talking. He basically said to Alexander, I don't do any talking. I showed in the ring. But then again, Alexander Hernandez ain't no Conor McGregor. So maybe Conor will get enough under his skin to actually piss him off because he's done it to many people. Jose Aldo, which he ended up knocking out in 13 seconds. Not Nate Diaz. Who else? All the guys he's fight. Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier. He gets in there under their skin, and he has that advantage, that mental warfare he's so good at. Maybe the best in the UFC, maybe in history. That's something I do give to him. That mental warfare, he's the best at it. The only guys he didn't really get to were Khabib and Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz did not give a fuck. He was just like, fuck you. He didn't give a shit. He literally doesn't. And Khabib just wanted to kill him, which he did. He really didn't take it personally. Well, he kind of did, actually. I refute that. But yeah, Donald, maybe he can get under his skin. I've never seen Donald angry. He's always calm, cool, collected. And Alexander did try to get under his skin, saying that he's old and all this shit. Same old. When it's a new guy versus an old pro. But it should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to this fight. I think after this, if Conor loses, he should retire. And this is why. Not because he's old, clearly he's young. But I heard he's making more money selling fucking whiskey than he ever did fighting. Why does he want to fight? I mean, if it's for the love of the game, by all means, do what you gotta do. But I just don't see it. Get punched in the face for money when you're selling whiskey, not getting punched in the face and earning more money. But hey, do what you gotta want to do, Conor. You're a great businessman. I'm not gonna take that away from you. Are you the best fighter? Not anymore, buddy. Definitely not 155. Definitely not at 155. You gotta prove yourself. You gotta work your way up. If you want Khabib again, you gotta earn it. I think it's bullshit that, first of all, what he did at the 145 division is unparalleled. It was an amazing run, and he earned that title through blood, sweat, and tears. 155 getting a title shot against Eddie Alvarez, who is don't get me wrong, a very good fighter, but first of all, he should have worked for that. Second off, Eddie wasn't exactly the best champion at 155 ever. As you could see when Conor fought Khabib, it wasn't close. So he lost to Nate Diaz, who's not even that good. He's mediocre, a little bit above average, and he got choked out. Conor at heavier weight, he's just not the same Conor in my opinion. And it should be very interesting though. So I look very forward to this. It will be all over with anything that involves Conor. It will be all over the place. So I think soon we'll be hearing about this fight. It'll be on headlines. And of course, your boy will be speaking about it on Sports News. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Back to UFC Brooklyn. On the Cowboy and Conor little thing that's gonna happen, guarantee it. I am 99.99% sure since Conor said it on his Twitter. And he's one thing he is a man of his word. That's something I agree with. When he says something, it usually happens, especially where he is now. So yeah, let's continue on this card. Now this fight right here, these dime pieces. And let's just say they're so fine that even when they're all looking ready to fight, they're still fine. Simple. Just kidding. But Paige, give her props in the first round. Ostovich looked very good on the feet. You know, she was landing. I think she clipped her in the first round, if I'm not mistaken. And Paige, you know, overcame and endured. And in the second round, it was very good exchange on the ground. Paige got her. It was a lot of good transitions on the ground. A lot of good, you know, counter and transitions on the ground, and until Paige got her. And I believe, I'm not sure if she broke her arm, but I guess the ref didn't see the tap, and Paige kept going until he stopped it. And I think her elbow might have popped out of place, Ostovich's elbow. But congrats to Paige. She looked good. I believe she has a lot to work on, such as her stand-up game, her boxing, her striking in general. But I think she can be a solid fighter. She is a solid fighter, but I think she can be, you know, a contender. And I think Rachel has a lot of potential. She has a lot of potential. You know, it was a very tough fight. Paige was very game. You know, it was very game that night. So props to Paige for winning that. This fight right here I want to talk about. DQ, as you could see. For you all that don't know, Greg Hardy was disqualified for fucking kneeing Alan Crowder while he was down, which is illegal. I believe, from what I saw, and I saw the fight, I believe Greg did it due to inexperience. I think it was in the moment. I don't think he meant to hurt Alan and do something illegal. He did throw the knee. And that was definitely intentional, that he threw the damn knee. I don't think he did it with malintent. I think it just kind of just happened. You know, when something just happens, you kind of just do it, and you're like, oh damn. And it was due to especially inexperience. But Greg looked good. You could definitely see his inexperience on the ground. He was getting handled on the ground, and that's something he will have to work on. I believe he will be in UFC again, and I believe he'll learn from this experience. But besides that, his power definitely showed. The difference is Crowder was a lot better fighter than who Greg has fought, and like you see that in Greg's eyes and Greg's demeanor, and his, it was different for him. It wasn't someone you could take out. He took out like the first minute. He had to actually fight this guy technically, like a real MMA high level fighter, a real pro MMA athlete, and he did okay, standing especially. He has a lot to work on, and I think his athleticism is a big advantage. He's definitely more athletic than Allen, and very powerful. You could see on the ground, he would just kind of get out of things with pure power, which translated from the NFL to here nicely. Yeah, he has no takedown. He did have a good moment where he had a good sprawl, good takedown defense. He really didn't know what to do from there. I think that's where the knee happened. He just had him down, and then basically he was like, oh shit, his head's there. Fuck it, knee it. And I think that's what happened. I don't think he meant to do it, but this did not look good on him, especially due to his past transgressions. It's not a good night for Greg Hardy. Do I think he would have won that fight? I believe if it would have stayed on the feet and he could have kept up that good defense that he did kind of develop in the second round, he could have won that fight. But and maybe even knocked out Allen because Allen was getting hit and clipped. But hey, it is what it is. Greg Hardy, I think he'll live to fight another day. But props to Alan Crowder, I guess. And now the main event. Okay, as you can see, 32 seconds. I was fucking shocked. Simple. I was like, damn, that's it. Henry came out blazing. He was calm, before the fight when they were on the corners and Bruce Buffer was doing his thing. He was just calm. TJ was game. He was ready, and Henry starched him in the first round, pushed him. And here's the thing I think, and this is what I heard from the commentators after the fight on the post fight. I think TJ isn't his best at 125. I think he's too drained. He looked not as game at 125. I think this weight cut got to him a little bit, and he wasn't as game as he is at 135. He just didn't look as sharp. He's not as explosive. His feet were there. He's always gonna have his footwork, and his striking is just. Henry beat the shit out of him. I think TJ deserves another rematch. And Henry said he wants to fight him at 135, and I believe that's fair. But and here's some, I guess, controversy over the stoppage, because TJ was still active when he was getting hit, and the ref stopped it. This is what I think. I think it was a fair stoppage, because TJ was just getting whooped, and it didn't seem like Henry was going to stop anytime soon. I think the ref did a good job. He let it go on for a while, actually. At the end of the day, the ref has the final say so. I mean, you can only use his best judgment. It wasn't a bad stoppage. I believe, in my opinion, it was a good stoppage. TJ was getting beaten. You could see it, his face was beaten after. TJ was complaining, and he did even say, I didn't get beat. Yes, you did, TJ. I'm sorry, but you did. Do you deserve a rematch? Yes, you do. Yeah, I think he'll do better. Yes, I do. I think it'll be a competitive fight with TJ at 135 and Henry already being a bigger dude. I think it'll be a better fight at 135. Props to Henry, though. That was spectacular. I think he's a Hall of Famer now already. Think about it. He beat arguably the best MMA fighter ever, Demetrius Johnson, and now TJ Dillashaw. And he starched TJ. Hey, man. Props to Henry Cejudo. He said he wanted to save the 125-pound division. But there is no real superstar power there. I mean, besides him, Demetrius is gone. I mean, who else is there? I can see why Dana would want to shut it down. Henry tried to plead with him at the end. I don't know what's going to happen to the 125-pound division. But I just don't see why I should be there. Demetrius is gone. Henry's the only real superstar. Either get some more guys in, get some bigger caliber fights, or just close the damn division, in my opinion. I don't know, man. At 135, I do think, after seeing what I saw from Henry, I think TJ will still have a hard time with Henry, but I think he can beat him. I think he will be more game, more explosive, and not as drained. He looked very drained. You could see it in his face, sucked in. He said he felt fine. Maybe he did, but I think his body just wasn't 100%, or definitely not as efficient as it is at 135. I believe TJ might have maybe underestimated Henry a little bit on the feet, because Henry just went at it. He looked quick as a cat. Pop, pop, pop. He took him out. Pop, pop. Pushed him. Went and attacked him like a pounced on him like a tiger. Took him out. It was a beautiful performance by Henry. You see in his eyes, man. He just wanted to win, and he did. So congrats to Henry Cejudo. Good card, good night. Some disappointments. Some up-and-comers. Yeah, there you have it. And now let's talk about the next big, in my opinion, the next big event. UFC 235. There's some big fights on here. Specifically these two, which will be the only ones I talk about, because let's be honest, that's all we care about. Like I said before, and I'm going to keep saying, if you want me to go more in depth in any of these sports, any of these parts, or do the whole thing differently, shorter, longer, of sports news, want me to do anything differently, tell me, and I will accommodate that. I just want to bring good quality content to y'all. Simple. But yeah. So this fight right here is going to be very interesting. Anderson is old, but I think he's still game. Israel Adesanya is the next big superstar. I think he's the next superstar. Like, big star. You know what I'm saying? So I think Anderson's going to have a tough time. A lot of people think he's going to get starched by Israel. But Israel reminds me of a lot of John Bones Jones. His creativity, with his kicks and elbows, and he's an all-around fighter. He just has it, especially what he did to Derek Brunson in his last fight. Shit, he looked game. He looked like a beast. And I think If Anderson is old and looks old in this fight, he'll get starched. I'm just being honest. And Anderson's a fucking legend, one of the greatest of all time in his prime, easily. Maybe you can even argue the greatest of all time when he was in his prime. But I think Israel's gonna win this. I think Anderson's too old. He's been through too many wars, and I think Adesanya's up and comer. He's a game as hell, and he's the next big thing, definitely. I think he's gonna win, and I think he's eventually gonna be a title contender, maybe even a champion. I think he will be in the foreseeable future. I predict Israel by knockout, third round. So I think this right here, Robert Whittaker versus Kevin Gastelum. Robert Whittaker is a true champion, a game champion. In his last fight against Yoel Romero, I do believe it could have won either way though, because Yoel, 40-year-old, but he is an animal, all muscle. He's a damn tank. A tank. I don't know how he makes 185. He looks like fucking 240. He's huge, man. Scary dude. I do not want to fight him. But Whittaker beat him twice. So, in my opinion, I thought Yoel won, but I could see how they could give it to Robert. It was very close. But hey, props to Robert Whittaker. I think this fight's gonna be tough. Kevin Gastelum's very game. He's done some great things, I believe. Let me see his record real quick. Robert winning this fight. I think it will go the distance. I do believe that. I just have a feeling these guys are too good to take each other out. Kind of like Yoel and Whittaker were. Even with how powerful they both are, I think round 5 decision, 5-round fight, decision win by Robert Whittaker. That's my take on that fight. So yeah, guys, that's Sports News episode 2. I hope you enjoyed the content. I will get better at this as the weeks go on. I will be bringing other videos, gameplay, like I said on social media. I don't know if people do follow me. I said I would need a better computer, but I found a different way to record gameplay on a PS4. And I will do that and bring gameplay soon. Unfortunately, I'm back in school this week. I probably won't be posting as much as I did this week, which is my very first week and shit, but I'll be trying to bring all I can. Let me know what you want to see, vlogs, whatever. I'll do it. As long as it's not stupid. I'm just kidding, but for real. Anything. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new, subscribe. Tell your damn friends. We're trying to grow out here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. But leave a like. Leave a comment on what you thought about these sporting events, or your predictions on these upcoming sporting events. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a good day or a good night if you're watching it at night. And this is Jay the Great signing out. I'm out.